Good morning. Happy Mother's Day. This is my first vlog, and I am doing this as in obedience. I'm doing it scared. I was reading Emily Freeman's book, A Million Little Ways, last fall, and I made myself go through it very slowly. You guys know me and how I love all the books and all the things, and I really wanted it to soak in. And one thing that she said in there that really caught my breath was she said to pay attention to your tears and what stirs you up and what really draws you in. And I knew right away when I read that what it was, but I wanted to ignore it and I didn't want to think about it because it scared me, and I don't really want him to make me do it. But he's making me do it here. And so what it is Poetry Slam. And when I first knew the phrase, I really didn't know what that meant. And I'm still learning. But I wrote poetry as a teenager and lovesick young adult, and probably haven't written a poem since I was married. So it's been over 20 years. And I felt like this winter, he asked me to begin to pull that out again and to do that. And so I've really only been working on one poem, just a verse or two at a time. And it is really an ode to motherhood and to my daughter. Her birthday is always right around Mother's Day, so this is a gift to her about our relationship. And it's also a gift to all of you who mother, because it's a hard job that we do, but it's the best job in the world. So I didn't memorize it. I haven't memorized it yet, but I will, and one day I'll just speak it. But today I'm going to read it. So this is my offering to you on Mother's Day. It's called In the In-Between. Before you were ever here, you took up space in between us. The promise of three, the evolution of me, the mere idea of you, birthed deep inside long before your beginning. And then when the stars aligned and the love was ready, the lover of your soul, he came and began to create you. He formed you from the inside out, from your being and your core to your doing and more. You grew and you stretched, all floating in grace, all elbows and knees, and we would lay and watch you spin and turn in the in-between. When you broke through from not yet into now, you were 2 weeks late and in no rush, wide awake, a gift, and they placed you in between us. It was there that we first became three, in real life with skin on. It was there in our arms and in our hearts that we first learned that we needed you as much as you needed us. And so it continued, the growing, the stretching, the falling in love, and it happened in the in-between. You made me a mama as he was making me a mother. You filled my lifelong dream, and before I ever encouraged anyone to be the song, you, my girlie, you taught me to sing. Your daddy played guitar. For years he laid down the track. He loved you and taught you the rhythms of laid back. In those early years, I worry, don't sleep, I rant and I rave. You test boundaries, you learn no and you try on brave. I offer empty threats and frazzled nerves, frustration trying to hide. I'd recite hymns and tell stories, prayers at bedtime, laying side by side. Both hope and exhaustion twisting and braiding together with love and with dreams. Me with you tickling your back, singing gospel softly as you drift off in between. Lord, I lift your name on high. I sing it and say it and I pray it. I pray one day that you will sing it and say it and mean it too. That one day you will feel it and see it and know that it is true. God and Daddy, fill me back up whenever I feel drained. They spoke love and whispered wisdom and would gently show me the way. I learned patience and grace and timeouts for me. I learned apology and theology and intercessions on bended knee. I learned the word as I was stepping into roles and titles all around. I learned religion. I learned it well, and I lost it all before I was found. You taught me joy unspeakable and full of glory. You taught me trust more and more and more in the one who was writing our story. As a little full of wonder, you taught me adventure, discovery, and how the change in perspective changes everything. You reminded me of safe and secure in the value of home, of playing, pretending, of living room forts, all blankets and dome. We kept up our make-believe tent for days and days, working around, interrupted, squeezing by, but laughing always. You taught me lessons in the in-between years of steadfast and friendship and working things through. You taught me more often than I expected, and that sunk deep and grew stronger, helping me learn me as I was learning you. You taught me faith as I laid out gospel truth, and you prayed a prayer at bedtime at the wise old age of 4, and you believed with all your heart that you were his and he was yours. And my, how you would spend time sitting on that bed for hours, just talking with Jesus as if he was there and real. And he would love you and teach you and fill you with power. It was in the in-betweens that I began to step into who he has made me to be. Mother, it's who I am and what I do, and it has set me free. It was in between confidence and confusion, assurance and feeling overwhelmed, in between naps and bedtime dreaming, snacks and bath time screaming, in between innocence and the slowly losing it one choice at a time, in between preschool performances and middle school drama, in between trust and the beginning of lies gone wrong. It was in the middle of your growing years, and in between my 30s and my 40s that I began to sing my song. It started earlier of that, I am sure, but I remember hearing the melodic rhythm playing softly when you chose to look me in the eyes and lie anyway. It's okay. Every mama knows this, the time when your heart breaks, when the humanity of your own children causes tears to fall and souls to ache. I heard the song quietly playing in the background of my mind, and I remember how the words wrapped around my hands, telling me it was time. And I fought for you. I stood up for you. I fell for you over and over again. I fought for you through friends who would come and who would go, through fears and new things that led to where we never know. In the in-between, in one full swoop, I held you close, I lifted you up, and I let you go. All the while breaking and bleeding, crying and pleading with the one who bled out for your very soul. I fought for you when all you had left was fight, when the walls built up thick and mean. Yours, mostly mine. And we clung to a sliver of a door swung open in the in-between. Grace stood in the hallway, and mercy drew us near. Your daddy, he would make us lean in and hold tight, tear down those walls of self-protection. Wisdom chased away fear. I whispered it in the dark at 2 a.m., where we were all piled up, broken on the kitchen floor, feeling empty and numb. I shared how I sensed a distance growing, how it felt more like survival and less like freedom. And we cried the hardest that day, and the mixture of wounds and healing, of love and forgiveness began to melt the hardness away. It was in the in-between, before trust was rebuilt and boundaries were inclusive, that we gave ourselves room to grieve. There was a lot of death that needed to be laid down, dreams and hopes and wishes not coming true, hearts broken, a saving grace rushing in, and only then the resurrection of mercies new. The song became louder and the message more dear, It was in the in-between that the call became clear. Speak life, be love, shine on. Do it when it's easy and do it when it's not. Choose to do it every day, in every circumstance, because really, grace is really all we've got. Do it from the start when identity is being shaped and words form into truth in our hearts. Do it at the end when it's a confirmation, less a plea and more a hearty amen. But don't forget to do it in the in-between, in the learning years when everything is new, in the growing years when you're busy finding you. Do it through the trying years, broken curfews, slamming doors, breaking hearts. Do it in the drifting years when you have to hold on and let go and let them have a brand new start. Grace comes quickly and love unfolds. Friendships are formed in the midst of all of the passing of all of these years. And I've learned to love us both, to love us all. As we lived and risked and tried and failed, as we remember to forgive, to laugh and to dream, to speak life, be love, shine on. And I learned it all in the in-between. Happy birthday, girlie. I love you. And happy Mother's Day to everybody.